Licensure, categories, qualifications, and requirements. A real estate license is required if you represent a seller or buyer of real property as an agent and earn a commission in the process. I look at it as a three-step process. Once you qualify with such things as age, high school diploma, and Georgia residency, those steps include complete the pre-license course, take the state-required examination, and finally, apply for your real estate license. In the next few slides, we will differentiate license categories as it relates to real estate. Salesperson license. Applicant for a salesperson license. You have to be at least 18. You also have to be a resident of Georgia, unless you qualify for a non-resident. And you have to have graduated from high school or earned a certificate of equivalency, GED. I also want to point out, you have a lot of students from other countries. Whatever satisfies their high school diploma in those countries will also work for Georgia. Satisfy all statutory requirements regarding any past criminal convictions. Attend and pass an approved 75-hour salesperson's pre-license course or its authorized educational equivalent, which means that there's college courses that will help you qualify towards your salesperson pre-license, okay, and qualify to move forward to the state exam. Also, apply for and pass the real estate examination for salesperson, okay? That criminal background conviction report, GCIC, is very important. Students always ask, why do I have to get it? Well, with any type of licensure, you will have to get some sort of background check. And the real estate license is no different. For a broker's license, you have to be at least 21 years old. Okay, applicants may take the examination at age 20, but you have to be 21 to take the examination for the state. Be a resident of Georgia unless that applicant qualifies for non-resident status, and be a high school graduate or hold a GED. Satisfy all satisfactory requirements for your past criminal convictions and have been actively licensed for at least 3 years of the previous 5 years as a salesperson. Successfully complete 60 hours of an approved broker pre-license course or its authorized educational equivalent, and then pass the state real estate broker examination. For associate brokers, licensing requirements are identical to those of a broker's license. Though an associate broker may perform any service delegated to a broker, that licensee has not assumed the responsibility of contracting directly with consumers, preferring rather to work as a licensee affiliate of another broker. CAM, Community Association Management. For the CAM license, you would need to be at least 18, a resident of Georgia, unless you qualify for that non-resident status, and also have a high school diploma or a GED. You must also complete a 25-hour, approved 25-hour CAM pre-license course or its equivalent educational requirement, pass the state CAM pre-license examination, which only is 50 questions, submit with the license application a sponsoring broker statement application signed by the applicant's sponsoring broker. Sponsoring broker simply means the broker that you will hang your license with. Licensure exam application for license. After fulfilling age, education, and in the case of the broker's license, experience requirements, the next step in the licensure process requires candidates to pass the state qualifying exam. Exam fee: at the time application for exam is submitted, commission will collect a fee from the candidate. If applicant fails the exam, Candidate may take another exam by submitting an application and exam fee for each necessary retake. So there's no limit for the amount of times that you can take the state exam. Once you've passed the pre-license course, you can take this state exam until you pass it. But each time there's a fee. Applicants who are veterans with evidence of a minimum of 1 year's service, always something good for our vets. We love taking care of our vets, and here in Georgia, vets have a favorable perk that helps them to pass the state exam. This worked for my husband, who is a vet, and needed a couple of extra points to help him pass the course. So, again, a vet with evidence of a minimum of 1 year's service, 90 days of which were during an armed conflict, may be granted a 5-point credit on a licensing exam. If discharged due to injury or illness while at least a 10% disability, eligible veterans may receive a 10-point credit on the exam. Isn't that great for our vets? Licensure application. Applications lacking necessary information required or the required fee will be considered incomplete. Failure to disclose on an application any required criminal convictions or disciplinary actions imposed in another state shall constitute falsification of the filing. As with most licenses, a criminal background report is necessary to obtain your license. I always recommend that students take care of this part almost immediately, especially if they suspect something is on their background. We can usually direct them to a document called the background clearance form that they can complete. They can do it while they're in class so that they can still take the class and work in the background on getting that clearance from the Georgia Real Estate Commission to move forward to take the state exam and get licensed. Candidates who have completed educational requirements and have passed the qualifying state exam must subsequently apply for the salesperson or CAM license within 1 year of the exam date. I'll repeat that because that's a question I hear all the time. How long do I have to get my license? Candidates who have completed educational requirements and have passed the qualifying state exam. So educational requirements, what was that? Either if you're applying for a broker, your 60-hour class. If you're applying for a sales pre-license, your 75-hour class. If you're applying for a CAM license, your 25-hour class, okay? You have to apply for those licenses within 1 year of the exam date. Those who fail to apply within the first 3 months after passing exam must pay double the license fee. I'll repeat that because, I get calls about that all the time. Those who fail to apply within the first 3 months after passing the exam must pay double the license fee. Waiting more than 1 year after passing exam requires the salesperson, CAM, and broker candidates to retake the state exam. So why wait? You've gone through all of the necessary requirements and you've even passed the exam. Move along and get your license right away. License documentation. Any licensee applicant is required to submit the following: the signed lawful presence notarized affidavit that verifies the applicant's legal status in the U.S., a certified criminal history report from an appropriate law enforcement authority. This GCIC report may not be more than 60 days old. Along with the above documentation, licensure candidates wishing to activate their license on the same day of passing the exam must also submit a sponsoring broker form indicating the broker with whom the license will affiliate. And licensure candidates who do not wish to activate the license upon passing the state exam may place the license on inactive status. Candidates licensed in another state may be granted a Georgia real estate license by producing certification showing that person passed real estate exam in that state within the last 12 months and whose license is in a good standing in that state. So if you are licensed in another state, you can be granted a real estate license in Georgia, but you have to show your certified license history from the previous state. Maintaining licensure, lapse license. When a licensee fails to renew his or her license by its due date, the license lapses. The licensee's pocket card, license, and wall license must be returned to the commission. Any licensee whose license lapsed due to non-payment of fees or failure to complete post-licensing education requirements is prohibited from engaging in real estate brokerage activity until the license is reinstated. So if your license you have a required post-license class once you initially become licensed in Georgia, and if you have not fulfilled that post-license requirement, your license you cannot practice real estate in the state of Georgia. License reinstatement. An active license that lapses because the licensee failed to pay renewal fees or failed to complete education requirements may be reinstated within 2 years of lapsing by paying all required license fees and completing the required continuing education. So if you didn't pay your renewal fees or you didn't complete your registration, you can have your license reinstated as long as it's under 2 years or less, by paying the fees and taking your required classes, okay? And remember, you're required to have 36 hours of continuing education in a 4-year period. So if you've lapsed under 2 years, then you still have to fulfill those continuing education requirements and pay your fees. If a license has lapsed for more than 2 years but less than 5, along with paying all renewal fees, late charges, and a reactivation fee, so you have a reactivation fee if you're between 2 and 5, licensee must retake and pass the pre-license course for either salesperson, broker, or CAM within 1 year of application for reinstatement. So if you're between 2 and 5 years, you have to pay your renewal fee, your late fees, your activation fees, and retake the pre-license course. A person whose license has lapsed for more than 5 years must apply as an original applicant, completing all required pre-license education as well as taking and passing the state exam. Post-license education and license renewal. In the first year of licensure, as a salesperson, a new licensee must complete a 25-hour commission-approved post-license course within your first year of being licensed. Failure to complete this course within a year period will result in a lapsed license. If a licensee has enrolled in and paid for the course within the first year of licensure but failed to complete the course, that person may reinstate the license by completing the course within 6 months. So it's important that it's taken within the first year. And it's your responsibility as agents to keep up with that. Your broker will know, but as an agent, this is your business and this is your career. You would want to keep up with all the requirements of maintaining your license. CE, continuing education requirement. Real estate licensees, notwithstanding those persons licensed before 1980, must complete a minimum of 9 hours of approved CE courses for each year of licensure, or 36 hours of CE for each 4-year license renew period. The commission requires that 3 hours of those 36 must specifically cover license law. So 36 hours is what you need every licensure period. Your license is good for 4 years. 4 years. And of the 36 hours, 3 of them have to be license law. In the initial 4-year period of licensure, the 25-hour post-license course requirement also counts as 9 hours of CE. So the licensee will only need 27 additional hours in that first renewal period. A lot of folks think, oh, with the 25-hour post-license, I will only have 11 more hours to get my 36-hour continuing education requirement. No. While you're required to participate in a 25-hour post-license, you don't get 25 hours. You only get 9 for that 25-hour post-license course. All real estate licenses must be renewed every 4 years on the last day of the licensee's birth month. The last day of the licensee's birth month.